Tariffs after tariffs after tariffs. Prices are going up on every single thing. But yet the Xbox community is doing this. Wait. How could the Xbox community not seem to be too bothered by all of these price gouging? How? What is the answer? The answer is Game Pass. You see, Game Pass is such a wonderful service that we are getting so many games. Expedition 33, South of Midnight, Doom, all of these games you are getting to play at a subsidized price, while everybody else have to pay full price in this economy. No wonder why these boys are giving you guys the stanky leg. On the other hand, if we was to look at PlayStation, where is the discourse on PlayStation first party games? I'm not hearing anyone saying anything about a PlayStation first party game. I mean, these guys are so dry and deprived of any good first party game that it's been said that these guys have been dead several times because of the lack of good first party games.
You had 3 heart operations. You suffered 2 cardiac arrests, you died twice on the operating table, you had a stroke, and you were diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumour and given 4 months to live.
Correct.
Yes, these ponies are down bad. Now, the Nintendo community is not as bad off as the ponies. Yes, the Switch 2 has been announced, and a lot of information has come out about the Switch 2, and it seems to be a very capable handheld console. And most persons are happy with the console, with the specs of the console. Some persons don't mind the price of $450. On the other hand, the entire Nintendo community, when they saw the price of the games, however, they reacted like this.
1,000. I'm sorry. You got to be crazy. I'm sorry, ma'am. We have payment option plans available. There's too big on much. Okay. Ooh, don't make me cuss. Okay. No.
Come on, guys, no cursing. This is a family-friendly channel. So while those who want the Switch 2 is going to get a second or a third job,
they're gonna work you all day, every day, till your back give out.
let us talk about a juggernaut of a PlayStation game has flopped on PC. In addition to that, we'll talk about how another PlayStation game is coming to the Xbox. Now, the question I have for my pony friends: if the Xbox is dead, if the Xbox is out of there, why are so many of these exclusives or once exclusives or even games that belong to PlayStation is coming to Xbox? Why is that? I mean, it's a dead platform after all. Let me know, you ponies. In the meantime, let's get it.
This is a sickness!
Let's get it. Before we continue the video, guys, let me just say thanks for 4,000 subscribers. No doubt thanks to all of the OG subscribers and of course some of the new subscribers, as you can see on the screen here. Now, we are not going to stop at 4,000. No, that's just the beginning. We are continuing. Let's see if we can get this thing up to 5,000 subscribers. Now, of course, when you subscribe, you get great Xbox news, great Xbox content. We sprinkle a little Nintendo there. But if you ask any one of the guys in the comments, they will tell you that we specialize. We love the Sony Pony Salt. So if you like or interested in any of that, please consider subscribing. Now let's get back to the video. First up, let's talk about the Nintendo Switch 2. You see, today Doug Bowser would have come out to see if he can clear the air when it comes to the price for the Nintendo Switch 2 games. He said that what you see right there is variable pricing. We'll look at each game, really look at the development that's gone into the game. the breadth and the depth of the gameplay, if you will, the durability over time and the repeatability of gameplay experiences. Those are all factors, and there's many more that go into consideration of what is the right price point for the game. So I think you can anticipate that there will be variable pricing, and we haven't set a benchmark. So yeah, so I don't know what exactly he was trying to say here. I mean, Nintendo have always been, putting different prices to their games in particular. So this is nothing new. I don't know what he's talking about, but maybe in the future things will be very clear to all consumers who are looking to get the Nintendo Switch 2 and of course their game. But let me hear what you thought about what Doug Bowser is saying here concerning, the price. Did he answer the question? Let me know in the comment sections below. Next up, let's talk about the franchise that Sony has been beaten like if it owes them money. That is The Last of Us Part 2. Yes, The Last of Us series, this time Part 2, has been released to PC. Now, what Sony was trying to do here is release both a new game and to coincide with the series that is being shown. Mind you, the series right now, it's doing alright. It's got a 7 on IGN, and it's most review sites saying it's okay, right? But how is the video game itself going? Well, listen to this report.
Last of Us 2 can't quite match the first game's launch on PC. Peaks at 690 CCUs.
Are you okay? I'm okay.
While the PC version of The Last of Us 2 has opened to fairly respectable numbers on the platform, attracting a peak concurrent player count of 690 across the first weekend. The port is another example of how Sony's porting efforts aren't quite as popular as they once were. The sequel failed to match or beat the first game's launch stats, which pulled in just shy of 500 users at its peak. Of course, active users don't translate into hard sales, but these kinds of statistics don't tend to ever be beaten outside of the opening weekend, except for when significant discounts take place. What will prove promising for Sony is that The Last of Us Part 1 has remained incredibly consistent with its player count over the years, always attracting a few thousand players every day. Since this is an entirely single-player version, the multiplayer factions mode isn't included. That shall be treated as a one-and-done game by most. The stats suggest the original is a consistent seller on PC. Since the PC version released on April 3rd, 2025, The Last of Us 2 Remastered hasn't dropped below 10,000 concurrent players. Here are the top 10 most popular PC releases from Sony according to that statistic. 1. Helldivers 2, 458, 709. 2. Ghost of Tsushima, 77.154.
Wow, you get the drift. Yes, the PlayStation community love to say that, Sony games don't miss. Sony games are the best in the industry and is the envy of all gamers who don't have a PlayStation 5. But it just goes to show that, what Sony is doing, that model of releasing games sometime after is not working. So Sony would have to rethink their strategy when it comes to PC. They will need to release these games day and date if they want these games to have any impact when it comes to sales and popularity and so forth. So let me hear what you think about The Last of Us 2 flopping on PC. It's not doing as great as some of Xbox games or even PC releases. It's just very mediocre on PC. But let me hear what you think in the comment sections below. So as was said before, one of the arguments that the PlayStation community love to use of recent is that Microsoft's whole slate is coming to other platforms, and they are trying to convince themselves that Sony is not doing something similar. You see, Sony would have shown in their recent state of play that more games are coming to Nintendo, whether it be licensed or not. They are PlayStation IP and they are going to other platforms. Yes, Sony is doing something very similar to what Xbox is doing when it comes to putting their games on other platforms. Well, it just so happened that more of that is happening. But there are ponies like Koala Man who don't want to admit that here what this is happening. Listen to Koala Man try to convince himself that here what Sony is not doing the same thing as Xbox.
They're all but full third party, and yes, I have a lot of people coming into this comment section, well, PlayStation's third party, they've been PlayStation third party for quite some time. Look, yes, I've addressed this multiple times, so if you're going to look through these videos, right here, somebody can timestamp your ass right here, yes, they are third party to a point, absolutely.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Absolutely, never denied that. What I'm saying is they're not third party the way that Xbox is third party. They are not putting their first party games on a competing platform.
So let me get this straight, Koala Man. Are you saying that there are two types of third party? Partial third party and full third party? What foolishness are you talking? Third party is third party. If it is that PlayStation or Sony is putting their games on other platforms, it's very clear that it's third party regardless if it is not AAA or AA. The point is that they are putting their first party IP that they own onto other platforms. What partial third party are you telling me? Come on, man.
Or was competing at this point. Xbox, is they sharing assets to Nintendo? Yes. Are they going to continue to do that? Yes. Recently we had stuff come up to light, right? That they are licensing out games from like Everybody's Golf, formerly known as Hot Shots Golf, to those in the US and maybe some other areas, as well as some other IPs, right? So it's not a bad thing. They're licensing them out. They aren't first party publishing. They're not doing anything to foot the bill. They're licensing them out, right? And that essentially means that they are renting these out for people to put their assets in, and they still get a cut of it. Why let these dormant franchises sit, right? Clap hands and then parted ways for a multitude of reasons, right? Why sit on these dormant franchises? I think that's very interesting. I think it's actually very smart to sit there and do that. If you're going to sit on these, at least have somebody do something with the IPs, make some money, get them into the gamers' hands any way, shape, or form. But those games like Hot Shots Golf and others are still not hitting the Xbox platform, and these are licensed games even.
Oh, it's the clown again. Oh, why is it always the clown? I mean, I knew it was gonna be the clown. We all knew it was gonna be the clown sooner or later.
So you can basically hear the cope in Koala's man's voice. He is trying to cope to say that here what these hotshot girls and things, they're licensing it out. That's not really first party, they're renting it. Come on, Koala Man, that is still Sony IP. Going on to Nintendo means that they are third party. Can't you see it, Koala Man? Well, maybe this article could convince you that although Sony owns Bungie at this point in time, this game is coming to Xbox. Listen.
Bungie's Marathon still coming to Xbox. Full gameplay reveal dated for this week. It's been a while since we last heard about Bungie's new Marathon extraction shooter, but it's suddenly now reappeared with a new teaser trailer, revealing that a full gameplay reveal showcase will be taking place this Saturday. Specifically, Marathon's gameplay reveal is set for April 12th at 10 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 6 p.m. British Summer Time. You'll be able to watch the full thing on Twitch, and we'll be recapping it here at Pure Xbox ASAP after the event as well. As a reminder, here's what Bungie says about Marathon. Marathon is a team-based extraction shooter and the first completely new project from Bungie, the creators of Halo and Destiny, in more than a decade. Set on the mysterious planet of Tau Ceti 4, Marathon will see players inhabit the bodies of runners, cybernetic mercenaries who have been designed to survive the planet's harsh environments, while exploring the lost colony that once inhabited the surface. Players will search for valuable loot, including new weapons and gear. Bungie is obviously a PlayStation-owned studio these days, so there's been some debate about whether Marathon will launch on Xbox. But it's once again been mentioned as an Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S game this week. All that's left is to see what Bungie has in store for us. Here's hoping it's going to be as good as Halo/Destiny. Eager to see what Marathon is like.
Are you hearing that, Koala Man? Are you hearing that? Although Sony have full control of Bungie now, the contract that they would have signed before most likely is null and void, but yet still we are seeing Sony deciding to leave Bungie on the Xbox Series console. You see, what you ponies fail to realize is that Sony cannot afford another Concord. So, it's very clear that this is why this game is coming to the Xbox Series console. Don't you see that, Koala Man? Can you see it now? So yes, PlayStation is full, partial, and in the middle third party. Just you guys don't want to accept it. But let me hear what you thought about everything that was said today. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.